Oh my god, it's Jay Montana, man. I can't love no bitch cause I want money, yeah, I run it up. Sipping too damn much, I'm looking down, I got a stupid gut.
This is back.
I swear it's been here 4 times in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah. I told you in the video where we did the camber on this thing that it needed shortened tie rods. The ones that we put on it, I had to cut, I had to modify, I had to do some questionable things. Cam, which we'll plug in once again, has made us these. They're shortened 1 inch. Josh's were shortened 1.25 inches because he has a lot more camber. This is at like 10 in the front, so 1 inch shortened tie rods will do the trick. We have outer tie rods. I have those hidden somewhere. And we have axles. On top of that, he did ask me if we can go lower in the front. He rubs already, but he also said he doesn't care if he rubs.
Hey, the customer's always right.
Yeah, literally, the customer's always right. So we're gonna get this thing back on the lift. Well, this thing hasn't been on the lift, actually, now that I think about it. We're gonna get this thing on the lift. I'm gonna make a little video that will get posted elsewhere, showing you guys how I use those. So if you actually give a fuck, you can go ahead and watch that. If you don't watch. Let's get this thing on the lift.
Also, big announcement. We found, just thought you guys might want to know.
We found the perfect place to put our camera.
Yeah, so usually I know this angle looks pretty good, and it's pretty...
It's good for time lapse.
Yeah, so we decided to print out I recommend all our viewers to gyrate, bro. Y'all niggas think I don't do shit. Fuck.
Car's in there. You almost died.
No, you almost died.
The car's in the air. We're ready to take wheels off, and I gotta take Gio to school, learn him something new. But yeah, let's get the wheels off. Yeah, my truck is actually a Kia Sorento.
No, he's one of the Kia boys.
Yeah.
I feel like Drake today. All right, what do you have to say to all the clubs that, you know, just do this for the wrong reasons and don't have fun? Bang bong!
We got the wheels off. These spacers are coming off. We're putting on different spacers that aren't all fucked up and the wrong thread pitch and all that stuff. So these are gonna come off. We'll replace these, but I do gotta take the axle nut off. Coilover is gonna come out so we can do some adjustments. Tie rod's gotta come out. Start with taking the spacers off.
If you see us mobbing, just don't even follow us, honestly. I might launch my car at yours.
L driver.
No. I will be. I'm able to drive straight into other people.
L driver, L cameraman.
L human friend, L best friend, L
life.
L human, L man, L boy, L male, L wife.
We got all the spacers off, so we can ignore that. We gotta take the axles off, so that means we gotta take that outer axle nut off. We'll take that off. We'll take the lower ball joint nut off and the tie rod. That way everything's loose. I'll show you how to take a fucking axle off. So this has not coming off. I did everything. So it's like 7 something right now. So we're pretty much done anyways for the night. So I'm gonna let this shit soak overnight with some PV Blaster. And tomorrow I can heat the shit out of it and try it again. That side looks like it was replaced before, but this side doesn't. So I'm pretty sure this is a stock axle. And as you can see, it's just as rusty as the outside of the rotor. That's probably why it's stuck in place. So we gotta kind of break that loose. We are gonna take a break quick, clean up, put all the stuff that we have out away, and we'll be back tomorrow when hopefully that shit comes loose.
Say something stupid.
It. The fuck out of my face. And we're clean. I'm not clean. You're not clean. Clean. We got the car in the air. I'm gonna spray it here. We'll just get it out of the way now. We're just gonna turn it down.
Saturated.
That's pretty much it. So
Bye.
I'm just gonna let this shit sit. Yo, yeah. we're back, and we're a couple steps ahead. I came in here with the goal to get these axle nuts off. This axle nut was the one that you guys saw me try to take off yesterday, and I couldn't get off. So pretty much what I noticed that happened is that at some point this got stripped. Someone replaced his axle along the life of this car. Maybe when it got sideswiped, I don't know what happened. They put it on, stripped it, and then proceeded to use JB Weld to keep it on.
Bitches.
But, as you see, we got it off. The next thing that I am fighting is these cars have a really weird tie rod setup. If you know second gen CRVs, RSXs, EM2s, or EP3s, you know the rack is on the firewall. So you have these extremely long tie rods that you guys can come see from here. You have these extremely long tie rods. So when you go to take the inners out, you can't use a typical tie rod tool like what you get at Harbor Freight or AutoZone. It's impossible, they're not big enough, and you can't even fit the tool there. You got the axles loose, so worst case scenario, we don't get them apart, we do the axles first. So I guess you guys will find out which one we choose to do first.
I'm recording.
Tie rods are still hell. So since I told you that I got the axle nuts off, I decided to just do the axles. So I'm already here. I'm gonna do the driver's side one, I got the passenger side one, and the main reason we're doing axles. Got a little rip. We'll get these swapped out. I did order that tool for the tie rods. Yeah, the tool will be here tomorrow. So hopefully I can do that. I'm still gonna try again. I'm gonna give it one more try before I give up for the
We're not quitters.
There's a lot of stuff.
Unless they're JB welded too.
They could be. It could be
So,
JB
I mean,
welded. So
to be honest.
let you watch me put the axles in. I'm gonna do this one on the time lapse, and then you can watch me do the other one so you don't feel like you're retarded. Oh, my bad. We did the other axle on time lapse. You guys definitely just saw me do that. So I feel like I want to let you watch me struggle. So you can see me put this one in live. You know what I mean? Like you can just grab it and. It's like what, a week later?
Kind of.
It's been about it. Last we did. I don't even know what we did last. The car looks exactly the same as it did, and a lot happened. We did axles, we did tie rods. We got footage of that. So at this point, you should have seen me do tie rods and axles, and you're probably wondering why the car is back together. Well, I had to move it out. I had to take it outside because I had other stuff to do. And he changed his mind. Remember, we were gonna do 12 degrees of camber in the front. We're doing 14 off.
He wants 14.
He called me like 5 times, and then we ended up at 14. So.
Oh God, please no, no!
That means I need the car a little longer because it takes a little more. I'm gonna make this real sweet. My car with stock top hats, just set up just like the BC ones without extending it. We're at 14 degrees, but my knuckle was shaved really thin. Let's get the wheels off. And we have space now, so we have other places to put the wheels. And a lot of shit is gone. There's way more space now. So
it's literally a shop attached to a house.
Yeah, something like that. It's almost like the size of my living room.
Yeah.
All right, but let's take the wheels off. Why?
Because you get to put the lug nuts back on.
Oh.
That's how the pros do it.
That's my pit stop type shit.
How are they today?
Yo, it's YouTube's favorite stance car part. Ready?
Sonic the Hedgehog collects the gold rings. You collect washers.
I collect the
nigga.
washers.
You're just tails
That's
at this
crazy
point.
because Stock TSX literally walked up to me with 2 washers and goes, "Here, you probably collect these."
It's funny that we can joke about because it's like been 4 years.
Kill mad people.
Yeah, but it was 4 years ago, so it don't matter. Sorry, but I can't be your man's. Oh, yeah, fucking.
It's probably like using impact. I fucking did.
When's this piece of shit not?
For sale. Card out. Yeah, I'm off the stand scene.
At Ray Bill. We do everything in order. Get with us today. 484-456. Your mom needs.
Okay. Coilovers are out. We have the front ready, shave knuckles, push it in, do the thing, do the tilt camber, just. Yep. That's done. The camber arms are maxed out. We measured the other side and we looked at it. Saw the fitment. I'm not gonna show you.
Showed the owner though.
Showed the owner, not you guys. You'll get to see it at the end when it's driving. And for the most part, the rear is ready. I do have to drop the coilovers tomorrow on the back just so I can adjust them evenly. I want to start at an even point, raise the preload on the spring, and then max the bottoms out, and then adjust from there. See what I need. Fronts are out, like I said. And I was like the Jim Jones weather report things.
Walmart is closed.
But yeah, pretty much. Knuckle is ready to go. Tomorrow we'll pull out the grinder, the grinding wheel. We'll make a big ass mess, cover this thing in more grinding dust so people can write big dick all over it like they did before.
This says
And
Big
then-
George.
Yeah. And then we'll get this thing put back together at some point. But we're going to bed.
Yeah, but
We're working, guys. Last time, last clip, last time, last place you saw was the rear camber. That's pretty much styled. Very minimal adjustment there. Ride height is the only main concern back here, and clearancing the edges right here a little more. I have the stuff shaved on that side. Everything's dialed and ready to go at about 14. So that side is done. I did it off camera just because it's a bunch of grinding. You guys already know what I do to get the camera on an RSX. So what else do you have to see again? I know you guys just want to see this thing mobbing down the street with some camber and cool music and that. Watch me fight this side, shave the knuckle, get all the stuff situated, and most likely next clip all the wheels will be on and I will be doing some adjustments and test fitting. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Everything's on. Wheels on, test fit purposes. I want to see what the camber numbers look like in the air. If they're accurate in the air, they match, they're going to match on the ground. Nothing's going to change. Gotta get those lug nuts off, take that wheel, put it up here, and then, yeah, match the camber numbers. I'll use my toe plates and my phone and see where we're at. So, y'all going to sit right there. It's camber number time. Camber. Let's see where we're at.
Oh my god!
Magical powers, because now the floor is clean. Everything's clean. Tools are put away. You know how I like to do this. I like to be clean. I don't like messes. I went along every single bolt, right? Tighten them down. Make sure they were nice and snug. I'd use some paint marker. Where is it at? Use some paint marker. You can see the white right there. Slashes on the bolt, the nut, and the coilover. That way I can monitor if anything ever moves, which it should not. I am now just gonna loosen the bumper. Loosen the bumper in both corners. Jaden's car, I basically take this 10 mil. I did that on his car. Take the 10 mil that holds the fender to give it some play in this corner. It's the same thing as some people run the side skirt with no bumper, with no bolt at the bottom, but this car has side skirts that are held onto the fender, and then stuff gets kind of hairy. We're not gonna do that. Always up to some shit, man. No Geo, because Geo. Anyways. Oh, where you at, buddy? All right. We clearanced, we loosened, we did things, we made it floppy loppy. There's two little tabs that hold onto the taillight that I want to move out of the way. That side, they were already bent, and it seems to work better. Just because, yeah, I don't want to hear that, so I have to bend them more. But that way they don't clip back in and cause buckling of the fender. The last thing that I want to do today, to get out of the way, the rear coilovers, I want to drop them, which means that I have to climb back into the trunk. I have to pull these panels out of the way, make some room, and drop the top hat from the inside and the 17 that holds them at the bottom. We're gonna add a little bit of preload in the rear and slam the coilover on the bottom side again and go from there. If we have to go up, we'll go up at the bottom. We're not gonna use any adjustment on the preload once I have it set. I did that with the front. They're maxed out all the way at the bottom, but the preload is both like 5.5 inches. Yeah, you wanna watch? It's not interesting. That's interesting. So yeah, let's do this together. I feel like I had a battle with these, or was it Josh's? Okay, that is loose. Oh, shut up. Let's put some tools back. I did so good on timing with those coilovers because I actually just finished them. Annie sees them, wiped them down, put them back together, everything in like 10 minutes. So I might put them back in. Yeah, so I gotta bolt the bottom up first. That way I can line up the top, jack up the spindle, get it into the top part, hold it while I put the nuts back on. So let's find somewhere to put you guys. That was easy. There we go. I like that. Mic works now. So coilovers are in. Thought about putting the wheels on tonight, but there's really no point, just because you've seen me yawning. I'm tired. But on this, a good note, as you might have seen Lewis's car in the background, I took his headliner out today fully. It is now in my basement. It's ready to go. Start poking some holes for the Starlight headliner. That's why I want to bang this thing out. I would love to get his car in here to do his trunk setup. We spoke about it being a little better. We can make it a little quieter and a little nicer. So it'd be cool to get this thing finished up tomorrow, back on the ground, prep for alignment, and get it the hell out of here.
So who is Ray Built?
I'm pretty sure the clips that I am gonna put in tonight were of me putting the rear coilovers in with Maury yesterday, right? So you guys saw that. The coilovers are back in, the car is together in one piece. The only thing I have to do is tighten this axle nut because I left it loose. I have to clearance this corner a little bit like I told you guys yesterday and align this piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding, I like this car. So if you look up here, Gio, you guys will see how I clearanced. There's usually a little corner sticking out right here when you fold the quarter panel. Jesus. The fender, there's a little piece of fat. That's what I call it, it's a piece of fat. I cut that off and then I sanded it down just to make it smooth so it doesn't cut the tire, and then I trimmed the bumper down to where the tire is gonna move. And we have those screws taken out to allow a little bit of flex out of the fender. I just gotta bend those tabs I said yesterday. But yeah, watch me put the tires on. So we got the wheels on. The wheels are on. There's a bunch of shit all over them, I know. But we had to trim the bumper on both sides. So
that is why there is shit.
Yeah. We cleaned up the bumper a little more so the wheel has room to go up in there. We bended that little edge I was telling you about that needed to get out of the way in the back. On both sides, plus the front has been clearanced for the most part. We might have to do some more clearancing. I'm not necessarily sure just yet, but I'd have to get the car down first to even know that. So what we're gonna do is we'll get it all hooked back up to the pump, get some wood down on the floor, and put this shit back on the ground and see what it looks like. It's lower, that's why this side's sitting up crazy.
It's on the ground, as you can see.
Why are you speaking? You don't get paid to speak. You get paid. You don't even get paid.
Can I go card?
No.
Why were we on porn?
What?
Still low. All right, so at this point, the car, as you see, is on the ground. It's under its own weight, which means this is pretty much the resting position of the suspension. I might go up in the rear a little bit to match the front fitment. You got the rear done. Rear sitting at about 13, tipping over 14, and the front is sitting at about 13 on the spot, like on the dot. I was gonna go right to 14, but then it would have thrown off more fitment. I think it looks good. You're not gonna be able to tell that 1 degree. So this is pretty much how it looks. You're gonna look around. We have turning radius in the front. We have 1-inch extended tie rods in the front, shaved knuckles, slotted coilover, relocated top hats. I'm not gonna show you too much on the top hat because that's stuff that I've had to work my ass off to figure out. So I'm not just gonna give it out for free. The rear is my old control arms that were just cut. Sleeve was shaved down a little bit and the studs were cut, crammed back together, maxed out, and it hit 14. So yeah, that's pretty much the setup. BC coilovers all around with the springs that came on, so there's nothing crazy, and poly bushings in the front. This car is fairly done. We might not see too much of it until he gets wheels. He is gonna get 3-piece wheels, and we are gonna go a little more aggressive with the setup, but until then, this thing it looks good. It looks really good. The front, he's tucking tire. That's all he cared about. He mainly asked for that. He wanted to tuck the tire a little bit. He saw how Josh's car used to be with the old setup, and he loved this. He loved it. I'm happy. I hope he's gonna be happy, and we're gonna end it right there with this car. But as usual, we are at 204 subs. Gonna be a little more when this video goes up Friday at 12. So if you already watched this, it's probably like who knows what time on Friday. So we appreciate every single one of you that's tuned in, that watched this video. Last video hit hard. We had about 200 views by 10 p.m. I never imagined to have over 100 views. I'm sure Gio felt the same way. We're at 204 subs. We are at 7 videos. We've only posted 7 videos. So yeah, we have a pretty good ratio going. And for the content that we put out and the effort that we have to put in, I'm happy with what we have. Our last video is at 1K. Our first video to hit 1,000 views was the first vlog, and that's only at 1.3. Okay, you guys are amazing. This car hasn't done too well. I don't know if because y'all guys don't know about it, but I hope. It's not on 3, like, stop. Yeah. Don't hate. You know, let them cook. Wait for the rollers, and I promise you, by the time that this car hits the criteria some of you require, you're gonna regret not staying on top of this.
But also, fuck your requirements.
Yeah, fuck your requirements. Fuck your feelings.